What it do, y'all? This your boy King Ed the Great coming at y'all with another video. Subscribe, hit the like button for me. So I want to talk about this album here from BG Knocc and Gangsta Dresta, Real Brothas, which came out in 1995, and what happened to that album and why it didn't reach the potential heights that it should have. See, BG Knocc and Dresta, they were appointed by Eazy-E. They was basically rebranding Ruthless Records. Dresta and BG did some ghostwriting for Eazy on this album. It's on 187 Dr. Dre Killer. And Dresta, what I like about Dresta is his delivery. I like his delivery, his voice. He can ride a track. And his verse going against Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre is legendary. One of my favorite verses of all time when it comes to disses. And BG Knocc, the way he came in, you could tell kind of Daz sort of used that. Is that knockout? Is your original baby gangster? You can tell Daz he kind of used that later on in his albums, the way he flowed. So those were some talented brothers, and Eazy-E was going to put them on the wing. And I was thinking that they was going to probably end up on Ruthless after Bone released their album. They were going to release theirs. But unfortunately, Eazy died in 1995 and everything just went down. So they get on Def Jam, which wasn't really a great home for them. Because see, Def Jam, even though they had success with Warren G, they still, for some reason, didn't know how to market West Coast artists. I don't know what it was. You look at those covers from Warren G's album, and you look at this cover, and you look at the cover they did for J.O. Felony's first album. They all look basically similar. They look rushed. They ain't really put no effort behind it. They just threw it out there because they had a date. But here's what I'm thinking. This was a dope album, first of all. I believe it would have sold. DPG Killer went hard. 50-50 Love went hard. And it showed that the brothers can rap. But they didn't have Eazy-E marketing genius behind them. That's number one. Number two, what I believe went wrong was when they were still going at it with Death Row. And at the time, Interscope had a lot of juice. They still got a lot of juice in the game. But at that time, Death Row was running it. And plus, then you had the golf course incident. I think that low-key stagnated a lot of their momentum. If y'all look at the golf course incident, that's where Nate Dogg hit Dresta with the golf court, and Knocc pulled the strap out, and it just went down like that. So what happened, I don't know if it was Knocc, but somebody pulled the strap out, and that was a bad incident. Then on top of that, what I found kind of strange was when they was on the show, they was doing the show movie, and you had Snoop and the Dog Pound issuing on BG Knocc and Dresta on there. So I was like, hold up. How is Russell letting this happen? Like, these are his artists, but yet you letting Snoop and them shit on him. Like, what's going on? So low key, I'm thinking that was kind of a sabotage. I'm thinking low key that's what it was, because I found that very odd. But that album, it went under in 95. It would have done pretty decent if it was on Ruthless, if not better. And those brothers was talented, man. I mean, they had some dope songs on there. One of my favorite songs up there was Who's the G? Who's the G? And I heard another joint from BG called Vietnam. Them dudes can rap, man. And it was just shameful that record politics and this is what beefs can do. What beefs can do. Because, see, I think that's what happened when Eazy was trying to keep Bone out of that, because had Bone probably would have suffered the same fate. Due to the beefing with, one of the industry's biggest artists, which was Snoop Dogg at the time. But after that, them dudes didn't really drop no music anymore. I mean, Dresta would drop songs here and there, and Knockout would drop songs here and there, but you didn't really get a BG Knockout and Dresta album since then, which is pretty shameful because those guys are very talented. And I also find it pretty shameful how Vlad just uses BG Knockout just to talk about Death Row stuff when there's clearly more to his story. Like they use him just to talk about the Rufus and Death Row beat. That's why I've been trying to get BG Knockout on the show, because there's layers to his story. Same with Dresta. We're still trying to get him up there. So hopefully we can get both of those guys. So I'm putting that out there in the universe. So that's my thoughts about the Real Brothas album, man. It was an album that should have been handled a lot better. I believe Eazy-E would have lived. It would have done numbers, and those guys would have had a better career. But that's in God's plan, man. I mean, they just probably had better things to do elsewhere. So that's my opinion on that. This is King Eric signing out. Holla.